actually started on time today. That never happens. Alright, I am... Just a moment. I'm getting everything set up. I don't know if y'all can hear my dog whining. She's looking dead straight at me right now. Alright. Okay, I think I have this one. Oh, here we go. It's going to give me the option. There we go. Alright, I got one more housekeeping and then I'm all set. There we go. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, just getting everything else set up. Hey, Farron. See, that's why I like the watch party better than the actual lives on the pages, because you can actually see who's all on, which is nice. Hey, Tony. Hey, JW. I can kind of see, like, whenever you guys pass through here or whatnot. Alright, I'm going to get everything set up, and then I'm going to get started. It's going to be a second. I actually started on time today. That never happens for me. I'm always late because I'm doing other stuff that I had no business doing, like I was doing this weekend. Well, I worked this weekend, so there was that. Hey, Tony. Officially. Y'all can't see it, but I have another live going someplace else. So I have like people asking me questions and stuff someplace else. So that's what random conversations that you don't see anywhere on whatever it's streaming on for you, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. If you can't see them, there's just on a different platform. That's all. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get everything started. What has been going on with the website this week? What am I doing? I haven't been dating. And if you haven't caught the last, the other blog I had posted about the Nigerian bae, he is, my friend was a little upset, but he's canceled and done. That's the one, I think it was like maybe a couple weeks ago we went out to Painting with a Twist. I have the blog is posted on the blog is already posted about his particular story and what happened, like the date night and everything. So what the thing was with him was he was very, I don't know how to describe it. You know how when you know someone's not very experienced with dating and a lot of things that kind of like you can kind of tell. So the first few dates that we had, we had good dates. All the dates were great. He's very nice, but I think like our first 3 dates, he wouldn't order his food, and he would try to have me order his food like I was like his mom. And so I think at some point I kind of told him, like, you can't do that anymore. If you keep doing that every time that we go out, I was like, I'm not going to go out on dinner dates with you ever again. You're going to have to figure out something else for us to do to assist you with that whole issue that you have about just about going to restaurants and not speaking up for yourself. I just thought it was weird. I really just honestly thought it was just weird. So I just pinned on my personal page. I'll probably do it on here too. The blog about him in particular. So if you just want to catch up and read what he's about, that's literally just the timeline of the story on what happened. He like wanted me to order his food. He's very soft spoken, and I think the first time we had actually kissed, the kiss was awful, like really, really bad. And I remember it distinctively because I was just kind of like, yeah, their French kissing isn't good. So I'm kind of at an age now. I'm not gonna have you kiss me terribly, and then I'm just gonna sit there and just take it, and it's fine for me. I'm gonna say something. If I'm not getting an orgasm, I'm also gonna say something about that too. I'm not going to continually have sex with you if the sex is awful. I'm just not doing that anymore. It's not like anything like fuck your feelings or anything of that sort. It's just that I'm just not doing that. I'm just not in that mind space to do stuff like that anymore for men. So I personally have made that decision not to do that. So I said that to him. I was like, hey, the kissing's not so great. And so he's like, oh, you don't like sensual. He called it sensual kissing. I was like, look, you can't. He's like, oh, you don't like sensual kissing because you just don't like it. And he's like, oh, because you don't feel comfortable and you're not good at it. And I looked at him. I was like, no, you're not good at it. I have no problem with French kissing. He goes, what's French kissing? I was like, what you were attempting to try to do with me. And I was like, yeah, I don't have a problem with that, but I need you to be good at it. I was like, so if we need to practice, I'm cool with that. Like the kissing part, I think I'm okay with that because everybody has this whole aspect. And he didn't listen to anything I said. He didn't listen to any cue I said. And then the next time that it happened again, it was just as equally as bad as the first time. So I told him he was no longer allowed to French kiss me because he didn't want to listen and he wanted to do his own thing. And this is where it got him, basically. Moving forward from that, we had the date that happened a couple of weeks ago. I was going to allow him to have a nightcap. When it got time for the nightcap, he tells me basically he has a roommate and he doesn't want his roommate to see me. And then he gave me this long list of like excuses, and I was kind of like, at that moment I was kind of like, yeah. That was like the more or less the strike two for me. He went into detail to explain to me that he wasn't legal in the country legally. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll work around some attorneys. So one of the attorneys at my job provided him with a referral for an immigration attorney. And so he goes to the consultation, and then he comes back. When he reports back to me about what was discussed or what needs to happen, he tells me that the attorney tells him that he needs to get married. He basically needs to marry an American woman. And I'm like, that's interesting. So he's like, oh, don't stress yourself, They asked if I had a girlfriend. I'm not his girlfriend. I wasn't his girlfriend. And, I said yes, and we love each other. And I was like, wait, what the I'm like, I'm just sitting on the phone like, I can't believe this conversation is happening right now. And so I was just like, okay. And I kind of just said, okay. And so he's like, oh, well, do you want to talk about it some more? Not really. No. We can talk about it later. So I think it was like a few days later, we went out to dinner. And we went to go see a movie. So in between the dinner and the movie, there was like a couple hour gap before the movie started. So I was like, okay, well, let's try, we could try the sex thing again. I didn't tell him that. I was just like, oh, let's go to May, please. I gotta get some makeup for my face. It was some bullshit. I gave him some bullshit to get him to the house, basically. So we get there. We get naked. We're kissing. He's doing that awful kissing again. And I'm like, okay, you gotta stop. You're gonna have to stop now. Like, right now. This is not good. This is very bad. And so, yeah, Tony. Yeah, not good. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. So we don't have any clothes on. We're both naked, and he's kissing terribly, and I'm like, Jesus. Well, not really Jesus. I'm like, fuck. Like, this is bad. This is very, very bad. And so he's like touching me. So, okay, so you get, you're having sex, you're kissing, and you touch. You're gonna touch the other person. This man literally was like trying to squeeze in a moment of touching every piece of my body within a 5 second mark. So it was like he was touching, like patting. That's how I can describe it. He was patting me, and I'm just like, is this for real? Like, is he really patting me right now? That's what's happening right now? This is what we doing. We're doing this terribly. So I'm like, okay. I was like, hey, chill. Just touch slowly. I'm like, touch. And then it was like this brief moment, like, I don't think I've ever, like, had sex with anybody that didn't have, like, just a clue. Like, just, I mean, I had some dudes that they were doing some things, but, I mean, they knew how to suck titties. They knew how to kiss. They knew how to just grab ass. Like, they knew other things, like, that I'm like, okay, you just need a little more practice. We're good. But it was like, I'm trying to figure out how he had kids. There were so many aspects, but abort. Look, I try to give people chances. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say this, but you can't just abort stuff with men when you're already naked, because a lot of times they just don't they want to get their faces bashed in because they don't understand when to stop. So, I tried to give him, I gave him, like, way too many chances. There were, like, a lot of opportunities that he could have redeemed himself. The touching, I was like, hey, just slow down your hands. I was like, just slow down. Slow down. Yeah, it was like a whole pat down for weapons, JW. Like, this dude was, like, really patting me down, like on some TSA shit. And so, I was like, okay, just go, take your time. There's no rush. And then he was like breathing hard like a kid. And I'm like, bruh, just please calm down. He's just like, I'm like, okay, I get it. You're excited. Okay, makes perfect sense. You're excited. I got it. Okay, I just need you to just, can you calm down? Because when they react like that, or when they're like that, I already know what's gonna happen. A super quick 5 second nut. I don't have time. I'm going to be livid. So I was like, just calm down. Just, everything's gonna be all right. Just chill. Just relax. And so he's like, okay. And I was like, you good? He's like, I'm good. I'm like, all right, let's try it again. Go back in. This motherfucker pat me down hard. Tried to grab the back of my head. Was kissing me terribly. And I'm just standing there naked, like, just literally with my hands up, like, and so I did that sigh out loud. And so he goes, he says my name, and he goes, is everything okay? And I look at him, I'm like, no. And then he looks and he smiles like he thinks I'm joking. I'm like, fuck no. And it was like, he could see the seriousness in my face. And I told him, I was like, we had a conversation. Because we did have a conversation, because I was very concerned about how he kissed. And I was like, if you kiss terribly, that means you don't know what the fuck you're doing in bed. And he was highly offended that I said that. He's like, no, I'm not like other African men. I eat pussy, and I do this and that. And I'm like, okay, all right, well, we'll have to see, we'll see. So I was like, we'll just see, how good you are and how good everything is. And so, moving forward, I'm just like, all right. So the pat down, I was like, just stop kissing me. I was like, all right. He goes, I want to eat your pussy. Okay, cool. Okay, all right. Maybe we got this. Maybe this will be the take. This will be the one. This will be it right here. So I lay down. When I'm gonna give you the okay. So when you lick. And then you get all the way up to the clit, and then you just that right there, that's as far as he got, which wasn't very far. He pressed his whole entire tongue down and just, like he was licking peanut butter out of the side of the jar. Yeah, it was like that. And I was like, I took everything in my might not to just slap him on top of his head, but I was like, hey, no, stop. Just go get the condom. I was like, just see, even after all that shit, I was still like, okay, maybe the dick's okay. Maybe we got that. The moment I said condom, his dick went soft. And I'm like, and he's like, can you, I was like, but I already just did all of that. I'm like, okay, I was like, no, I'm not going to. I was like, what's the problem? He's like, oh, we can just, he's like, it's just the fact that we have to do that with the condom on. And I'm like, I said, bro, I'm not having sex with you without a condom. So, and he's like, do you always have, no, there have been times in my life where I did not have sex with a condom on. I'm just not going to do that right now. He's like, but you said you had birth control. Again, not doing that. So, I'm going to need you to put the condom on. So, he's over here going through the, he's going through the whole package. So, he's got, like, he's pulling out one package out of the bag, and then he's trying to take the package off, the seal off the box. And he was just struggling with that. And so I was like, do you want me to do it? And so I get the box and I like take the plastic off. And so he goes, okay, I'll do the box. I'm like, okay. Man, Tony is bad. It's so bad. And so I'm like, okay. And so I take the condom box and I was like, he goes, no, I want to get it. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right, fine. So he's fumbling with the box and I'm just looking at him like, and then this whole moment, the dick is soft. And I'm just like, I mean, and I'm just looking at him like, And so he's just like, oh, it's fine. So then I realized he doesn't know how to open the condom package. And I'm looking at him, I was like, do you know how to open it? He goes, no. And I'm like, the fuck? I was like, see, no, I said, that's exactly why I won't fuck you without that. He doesn't know. I don't think he knows how to use condoms either, nor has he. I was like, have you used them before? And he's like, yeah, I've used them before, but he's like, but these are different. I was like, I don't know. Condoms are pretty much the same. Some have foil packaging, some have plastic. This had a foil package because he wanted to be extra and get magnums, but I digress. I'm like, the foil packages are easier to open than the plastic ones, I think. Yes, this is a grown-ass man, JW, with children. I'm trying to figure out, like, he's trying to tell me the reason why my wife didn't want to sleep with me and why we got divorced because of this. No, and I think I told him this the next day. I was like, no, your wife didn't want to sleep with you because you were awful in bed. I mean, and Larry, I get that people get scared. That's why usually, like, the first time is always going to be awkward. It's either going to be really hella awkward or it's going to be, like, extremely crazy passionate with me. And a lot of times, if it's, like, good, but it was just awkward circumstances, I'll give it another go. This wasn't one of those scenarios where I was, like, I literally went home, or was I home? After the date, I came home and I was so sexually frustrated. I was like, you know what? I don't see myself being in a relationship with this or dealing with, or hell, marrying this, much less. After he couldn't and didn't need the mofos. Guys love grand magnums and did. I mean, this is the thing. I feel like magnums are, I think, size-wise, he was good. I feel like magnums are kind of more or less for, like, size and girth-esque. Because I feel like some people that be rocking magnum condoms could wear Durex lifestyles. And it's perfectly fine and it's the same. I just think they just do that for, extra reasons or whatnot. But yeah, he did all that. Couldn't get the box open. Fumbled. Dick got soft because I said we're gonna use condoms. Then after that, I was just kind of like, I was done after that, and I was just done. And so then he wanted to kiss on me for like 5 minutes while I was trying to put my pants on, which was very obvious. I was trying to put my pants on, and then reciprocate back. I think that's when he was just, I was like, okay, are you done doing whatever this is that you're doing? And I was like, yeah, we need to go, it's time to go see the movie. Can't sometimes the first time just be hugs and kisses, or orally satisfy lady, call it a night? That could be fun too. I mean, yeah, man, that's true. I don't know what his game plan was for that night, but yeah, whatever he thought it was gonna happen, just that none of that happened at all. I think you're right, JW. It is partially marketing because there's a stigma, a good stigma, I guess, depending on the person. It's a stigma with folks having those type of condoms on deck. But I think that's more so just I think that's just more so some people just need to, you're supposed to stay in a certain type of lane, and it's not good to just get condoms that aren't your size anyways. That's not really a smart look. That's not really a good idea whatsoever. So never suggest any dude to do that shit. Don't you got what you got. Be cool with that. Be comfortable with that. Make it do what it do. But other than that, like yeah. So the next day, he wanted to talk about it. I did not want to take about it. I didn't want to talk about it because I don't know. I just felt like it was something that we probably could have just tabled and discussed at a later date. So that's what my intentions were, and that's what I wanted to do. He kept pressuring to want to discuss it, and so I was like, yeah, I think you need to like just chill. Everything gonna be fine. Everything gonna be good. Just chill on all that. No, he didn't want to do that. He wanted to sit here and go into discussion about what happened the night prior. So finally, I was just like, yeah, I'm not really stressing it. I'm not really worried about it. I said, but I will say this, like, I'm going to be going into a phase where I'm going to be dating people, like dating multiple people. And I had already advised him that this was going to be something that I do anyways. I had already told him I rotational dated. It just so happens that he just caught me in a moment while I was dating where it was just him. There were people that I did have around, but, they slowly got, let go, whatever, what have you. And he was just the only person around during that time. And, the reason that whole scenario ended with him and I was I told him that I was going to be dating people. He was like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Well, I understand if you don't think that's a good idea. That's why I'm being honest with you and I'm letting you know exactly what's happening so you can make an active and grown man decision on what you would like to do going forward with you and I. So he's like, well, he more or less called me a whore in a very nice way. Explained to me that it's not a good look for him to date other people. It's not a good look for me. He doesn't like it, and I basically told him I did not care. So during this time, while we're on our phone call, I get a call back because I had basically talked to the attorney that had referred that immigration lawyer to him. I'm like, hey, what the heck kind of person did you refer me to? So I tell him what happens, and so he goes, well, I'm not licensed in immigration law. He goes, but that doesn't sound right to me. Let me talk with let me talk with them and see what happens. So of course they couldn't go into details about the conversation that was discussed between the Nigerian bae and the immigration attorney. But what she did say was, I would never suggest anyone to do that because that is illegal. And you can it's considered a felony to do that. So, one, you've lied about, an attorney that I got a referral for you. You lied and stated that, the only way that you can become a citizen of the United States is if you married someone. And I get it. That is one way, but I think they're more so in the scope of you two being in love and honestly marrying one another because that's what you want to do, not because somebody needs to stay in the country. So he lied about that part, and then he was kind of like low-key going off on the fact that I wanted to date other people. He wasn't going to stand for it. And then he sat on the phone and was begging for a while, and I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm not going to do all of this. I was like, because then you want me to stick around. I was like, you don't listen, which he doesn't. I was like, you lied about the immigration attorney, which he had nothing to say about that part. He had absolutely nothing to say about that at all. Had no excuses, no story, no nothing on why he lied about what the attorney said. The other was just basically him doing the whole going back and forth about about me not multiply dating and me just dating him. After that, I was kind of like over all that, so I bid him adieu, chunked him the deuces, and went ahead and blocked him. And then he sent me a a message on New Year's, which that was in my block messages because I was looking for some other message in my block messages, and I saw his stuff in there, and I was like, oh, look at that, and then I went on about my black ass business on that aspect. But that was I posted both the links for the blogs in the they're in the comments for the watch live, and then they're in the comments on the Girl in H-Town page as well. So I went ahead and I put those in the comments if you guys want to check those out, and I put them in the event. I guess I could update the description box. I could do that. I didn't think about that. That part didn't process for me quite yet. And let me see. There we go. Oh wow, it's letting me. There's a lot of stuff in here. I like looking at everything on the live. Whenever you're on the desktop, it looks crazy. I mean that in a good way. What else is going on? So I guess I'm gonna be on another sabbatical. Unintended. I wasn't expecting to go on a dating sabbatical, but I am seeing someone. I'm gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna wait. Y'all know I like to wait before I go into details about stuff, because y'all saw the post with Nigerian Bay, and then y'all saw the post where he fucked up, and everybody's like, "Damn, what just happened? He was just yeah, I know." So a lot of times I wait on introductions. I wait on people. Y'all know that's how I usually do, anyways. But a lot of times y'all get a chance to see it if I share it over on my personal page. But yeah, if y'all see oh, okay, cool. If y'all see a man being posted on my other page, just keep in mind that's more than likely that's probably not my man. Just, well, he might be. I don't know. If I say it in the comments, I didn't say that in the comments on his particular post, but I had a lot of people were like trying to congratulate me about that. I was like, yeah, just wait. There's more. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna take a mini sabbatical because I'm seeing someone, so I'm gonna see how this goes and see what happens with this. My ex, the one that I was with earlier this year. Well, no, it's 2020 now. Last year, I guess. Yeah, it's been a few months. He popped back up. There's a story about him too, but I think I'm kind of more. I think with him again, I think I'm probably just waiting more so to see how that pans out, to see what he's doing, and just to update anyone. That's gonna be the Panamanian. Him. That's the one that I'm talking about right now. He and I had dated we were in a relationship for a year. It ended because he couldn't keep his representative, as well as like his life. He couldn't keep it in check. He didn't hold himself accountable. He did a lot of childish stuff on aspects on his life and everything, and he honestly just couldn't hold himself accountable, and he just a lot of the stuff that we ended about were important to me. They were deal breakers for me because I need you to be able to take care of yourself on your own, by yourself. I need you to make sure that you're active with your kids. That's important, and any other life things that you got going on that you need to clean up or take care of. I also need you to take care of that too before you try to step to me. So his whole ordeal was that was why it ended with him and I. He's come back, and so I'm not really sure what he's got up his sleeve. I don't know what's going on. I have no clue, but I'm gonna be careful with that one. But I'll keep y'all posted and updated on what's going on with that. But yeah, that's kind of it. I just wanted to give y'all the words of the story, because I know my friends, they didn't already bother me about, well, not really bother me, made fun of me about old dude and the sex, and it just, oh my god, y'all, it was so bad. It was not good. But I did get a chance to get some dick before the new year, so that was nice. And I got some on the day after. Was it the day after New Year's? Or a couple of days? Yeah, the day after New Year's Day, because I didn't have any time. I was hanging with the kids on New Year's Day, so I didn't have any time to do all that on the actual, what you call it. So, but I'm gonna go get some dinner, get some wine. I'm going to sit in front of my TV, going to Netflix and watching the 100 tonight. Binge watching, trying to get the rest of that season knocked out and get up to date on it. But thank you guys for jumping on. I love you all very, very much. I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful and prosperous week. I will talk with you soon. Bye.